DC, and welcome to the Soap Sanctuary, where all soap lovers are welcome, guys. This is a different type of video for me. I don't have nothing written or scripted. I'm just going to speak exactly from the heart. This is my 2-year channel reflection. It's been over 2 years. I want to say now it's been like a few months now. 2 years was officially from March for me with the channel. YouTube says it's back in October that I started, making it really kind of like 1 year or so. But I had started channel initially, I think it was in March 2021. That was before the shutdown. I had to create another channel again, all that other jazz. But this is my 2-year channel reflection, guys. You know, the thing about it is that this has been quite a journey for me, guys. As some of you guys can see, I just recently went through my graduation. That was amazing. I'm gonna be completely honest. It took me 12 years to get that degree. I started undergraduate for my bachelor's in 2011, and now I'm just getting my degree in 2023. So it was quite the journey. But one thing I really kind of learned about that was that it's crazy because the graduation ceremony was just so quick. It was like 2 hours and it was boom, 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 dum, 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 dum. The crazy thing about it though is like I really understand now when people say it's all about the journey, not the destination. Because the journey is usually longer than the destination, right? The destination is one little quick off ceremony or whatever it is, but the journey itself is usually a lot longer. But it took me 12 years, and I remember during those 12 years, there was a lot of guilt and shame, and how come I didn't finish on time, and these people finished on time, or this happened, or that happened. But I have come to realize through the years that life is not linear, you know? It doesn't just go in this straight line. There's ups, there's downs. Whether you're losing weight, you're in a relationship, you're a parent, you just had a child, you know, you're in school, whatever the situation is, you're a YouTuber. There's ups and downs in everything, you know? Life is not in this straight, just linear line. That's just not how it works, you know what I mean? So there's a lot that I've realized over the course of my time. You know, being that it's in my 2-year mark, I always said to myself that after 2 years of doing the Soap Sanctuary, I would walk away from YouTube. And I've kind of basically hit that 2-year mark, or at the very least reevaluate some things. So I have decided this weeks ago, and I figured that right after my graduation would be the time that I would do this video. I do plan to have a more in-depth conversation on live with Albert, you know, with subscribers and stuff, and talk about that. But I do plan to go on a pause when it comes to Soap Sanctuary. It may be indefinite, that's a possibility. It may be an indefinite pause. I would say that for right now, just a pause. And I say it like that and not me leaving YouTube because one, I had an amazing experience. There's nothing wrong. I'm not mad or whatever, or life is just so overwhelming. But I just feel like it's time. I feel like it's time for that, honestly. But I also call it a pause because I reserve the right to come back at any point in time. I could be pulling a Kristen Alfonso. Remember Kristen Alfonso plays Hope on Days? How it seems like every time on Days, she would be quitting just to come back after 2 years or so, right? You know what I mean? So I reserve that right. I'll still be in the chats and Albert chats and JLJ Media, but in terms of YouTube, I will be taking a break from it. And school did play, I want to say, a 98% role of that. I graduated my bachelor's and I'm moving on to my master's program. So school was a 98% part of that. Although I've also learned not to be so ambitious that you just forget other aspects of yourself, family, creativity, and all those other things as well. But that played a huge role in it. I feel like I'm in a different chapter, right? And I've also feel like with Soap Sanctuary, I have done all I can do with this channel. I love my channel, guys. I love it. I love the videos I've done. I've had a lot of fun, and it was great, honestly. I really do. I'm proud of all the material that I put out there on this channel. I'm really proud of it. But I feel like in some ways, I've done all that I can do with Soap Sanctuary. I've hit all the key points I wanted to hit with this channel. I did an interview on this channel when I interviewed General Hospital Director Fido Xavier. I did a collab. First, it started off with Albert. Then it was me, Albert, and Brock TV. Then it was me, Albert, Brock TV, and JLJ Media, the Anthony Zakara of soaps. Right? I did the skits. I did the reviews. I feel like I hit every kind of benchmark that I wanted to hit with this channel, honestly. I think the only thing I feel like, I wouldn't say it's on a bucket list, what I always want to do was be honest soap, you know, like maybe like Forever and a Day. Maybe I can play the long lost love of JJ Frazier, you know, and maybe he comes into Augustus, Illinois. We're thinking that he's a villain. We're thinking he's got an agenda, but really he's got a heart of gold, you know, kind of like when Gigi came in on All I Have to Live and swooped in and took Rex from Adriana, you know. Maybe something like that, Forever a Day. You know, if they could encapsulate something like that, or if that's already in their vision, of course, you know, because we got to go with what their vision is. But I feel like Soap Sanctuary, I've done all that I can do with this channel, you know. I'm a big person on trusting intuition and stuff like that, my feelings, my gut, especially after I've meditated on it for some point in time. And like I said, I could come back. I reserve the right to come back. That's why I call it a pause, and not saying I'm leaving. It's a pause for right now, right? I'm on my future Kevin Collins flow right now, right? So, but there's a lot of lessons I learned over this 2 years. I mean, I've had a great time with subscribers, the different people I've gotten to meet. It's honestly been a really wild ride for me. I've really enjoyed it. I have no complaints. I found it to be very therapeutic. And I think over these 2 years, I've also learned some things about myself. You know, my recent graduation, it felt like it was symbolic in a way too. Like I was finally able to complete this chapter because there was some completion going on within me. You know, I was able to finally like physically actually graduate because I was graduating from, you know, maybe limiting beliefs and all these other areas of my life. Not to make it sound all woo-woo metaphysical, but that's how it felt for me. You know, I've even learned through the years that once you realize that you don't have to, and I use the word tap dancing because I feel like, you know, when people say, go ahead, tap dance, go ahead. You know, it's like you're shucking and jiving for people. But I've kind of realized in life that when you realize that you don't have to tap dance for God, that's when you'll stop tap dancing for other people. And I'm a firm believer of the relationship that you have with the Creator is usually reflected back to you in the relationship you have with other people and with yourself. And most importantly, the relationship you have with yourself is going to usually determine the relationship you have with other people and other things. And I feel like I'm in a space in my life where I'm able to hold a space for myself, right? I'm able to really show up for myself and be present the way I want to be. I want to say back in December, I went through a lot of different chapters in my life that were ending. And at first I was like, damn, like, why is this happening in my life? Why am I going through all these different things? But I kind of started to see that it was for the best, and also that when certain chapters need to end in your life, you don't have to demonize it or make it sinister to justify having to end a chapter. Maybe, okay, this is as far as it went. It ran its course, etc., whatever the case may be, right? So even me saying I need a pause from Soap Sanctuary, there's nothing sinister behind it. There's nothing like, oh, I'm so mad and I didn't get enough views in the last video and oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I just think that this is the perfect time to do it, to take that pause. And mind you, just like I said, I called it a pause. I could always come back. I could pull Kristen Alfonso and come back to the Soap Sanctuary. I could always do that. But I've learned a lot of deep lessons in my life. I've learned a lot. This channel, I made every video for myself. I mean, I know I make it for the subscribers, but I make it really for me because I wanted to make sure it's always something, some type of content that I enjoy doing, honestly. Getting a chance to network with Albert. I remember when I made a Soap Twitter, which, good Lord, I don't do social media, so that was a stretch for me to do back then. But I made it with the purpose of I wanted to possibly collaborate with other soap YouTubers, which then Albert reached out to me, and then the rest was history. So you guys know what happened there, right? Here we are today, right? And it served its purpose, and I got off. It served its purpose, and I got off. Once something served its purpose for me in life, I don't try to extend something past its purpose. Once something has served its purpose for me, I move on, right? There are friendships I've had in the past, things I've had in the past, stuff like that in the past, that once they serve their purpose, you could tell. It doesn't always have to be, you know, where it dissolves negatively or there's a disagreement, or maybe it's just the fact that, hey, like, you lose contact with someone, right? And maybe that was for the best, or you could grow, or they could grow, whatever the situation is. And so, you know, once Soap Twitter served its purpose, I moved on. I was like, you know, I really want, hopefully one day, maybe get an interview one day. Me and Albert, had just finished a live one time. He's like, oh, you know, do you ever think you want to interview someone? And I would say, yeah, but it would have to come to me. I remember telling him that. And he gave me this look like, what the hell? Like, how's the hell supposed to come to you? How's it supposed to come to you? Because I don't like to force things. I don't. If something is for me, if it's meant for me, it will happen one way or another. That's why I'm a firm believer of, you know? I'm never where I'm not supposed to be. I believe in divine placement. Everything happens and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. That's why that 12 years it took me for school, that's just how long it was supposed to take. Could it have gone differently? Sure, but that's just how long it took, and that's okay. So when I said to Albert that, I would love to do an interview with someone from one of the soaps on my channel, but it'll have to come to me. He's like, how the hell that's gonna come to you? I was like, it'll just have to come to me. I'm not gonna go looking for it. I'm not. And I think the director of General Hospital, Fido Xavier, he commented on my channel. He's like, oh my God, this is a great channel, gents. I love it. And when I saw that comment, I was like, oh, that was nice. He commented, oh, that's nice. Let me see what Domino's got going on, right? But then I was like, wait a minute. The director of General Hospital just commented. One of the directors of General Hospital just commented on your channel, D's. You can't just sleep on that. And I was like, okay, how do I find a way to contact this man? Because I don't have social media. So I found out my ways to get into contact with him. And I asked him if he would do an interview. And I figured, hey, if he says he loves the channel, more likely he'll do an interview. Why not? And then it happened. And then it happened. And I was very grateful for the opportunity. I was like, wow, like I am interviewing a whole Hollywood director, right? I was just sitting there in my apartment interviewing a Hollywood director, right? I think that was pretty cool. And I think that was something that this channel allowed me to do, was to assess limiting beliefs. I feel like everything in your life is always speaking to you, and it's always teaching you something in some aspect or in some regard, But I got to learn about that. To know that, like I had someone from General Hospital's Arsenal on my channel? What? Okay. What? You better, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was gonna take me maybe another 3 or 4 years to get to that point. You know what I mean? Or I have to have like 1,000 or plus subscribers to get to that point to garner the opportunity to get an interview. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was just pretty amazing. But I feel like I hit those benchmarks with this channel. One thing that was never benchmarked my channel was to get monetized. That was never a benchmark for me, surprisingly. That never mattered to me. That never mattered of, getting it to 1,000 or anything like that. I wanted to have fun with it. And I wanted people to love and engage with the content as I have. And I know I just feel like I'm in this new stage of my life, guys. I'm in this new chapter, and I am gonna be, granted it's weird because now I actually do have more time for Soap Sanctuary. That's why I said it's a pause. I could come back anytime. It's a pause. I do have more time, but I feel like my time might best be served working on other projects and stuff that have going on, of course, school, that I feel I should be giving my time to this moment. But like I said, I'm also careful to not be super ambitious about something where you forget other areas in your life. Some people, when they go to school, that's all they can see, school and nothing else. I only can see school. I can't spend time with my family. Maybe after the semester ends. What? No, I don't operate like that. And I think schools are realizing people don't operate like that anymore. I'm about balance. I'm a big believer in balance, right? And I think I'm at this point of doing what's best for me is because I've gotten to really know myself over these past 6 months even deeper than I ever have before. Eating healthier foods that complement and that agree with my body. 90% of my diet is fruits, which I appreciate that. It makes me feel okay, life, it does that. But I feel like once you get to a place where you get to know yourself and comprehend yourself, then you'll be able to understand somebody else. Then you'll be able to be in more harmonious situations in your life. And some things do just happen too. And then it's also then our response to it after that. So I feel like after that graduation, like I said, it made me think about so much. And I'm not ending the channel because of my graduation. I had this planned for some time now. I had this planned for some time. But like I said, it was very interesting to see how quick the ceremony was. All this hooping, this pomp and circumstance. But what about the 4 years that some people spent in school? Or in my case, the 12 years, right? 12 years a slave, right? What about the 12 years that I spent? You know what I'm saying? So it's really in the journey. And it's the same with Soap Sanctuary. It's really always in the journey. I love talking soaps. I will kind of like, in some ways, going back to being a regular soap viewer. I do. I think I fall back in love with this soap and love everything all over again, right? But I love doing this channel. I've gotten to be able to talk to other soap YouTubers. We're talking Candace Mack, Albert Bostic of Bostic Enterprises, Brock TV, the Sonny Corinthos of Soap Reviews. Speaking of which, I remember when I was in my sophomore year in college, and I just started college 2011, and I saw Brock TV on YouTube. Then here's the thing, I used to actually get pissed seeing Brock TV's reviews back in the day. This was like the 2012, 2014 time frame. I used to get really pissed. I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because in the dorms, we didn't have cable. So I can only catch GH on YouTube. You know those people bootlegged it, put it all real quick. You gotta catch it quick before they pulled it. Even from back then. And so Brock TV didn't title it. I don't think he titled it reviews back then. He would just put General Hospital in the date. So I'm thinking, great, like someone posted GH a quick episode, I could watch it. So I would go to the student union on Fridays, get my cheese fries after classes. I was failing statistics at the time. And I was okay, screw it, I'm just gonna catch some GH. She said, to hell with it all. I wasn't good at math, y'all. I wasn't. I was more of a psych guy, obviously, as you can tell, right? Anyways, I remember going to my dorms. I'm like, Grandma, catch some GH, and I'm like clicking on it. Next thing you know, what's up, everybody? It's Brock T. I'm like, damn it, man. I'm trying to catch GH. I don't want to hear nobody talk about the show. I want to see the show. Oh gosh, it tells you Brock TV's been around for a minute. And it is so full circle that the person's reviews that I watched, because I caught his reviews here and there back then, right? And it's crazy, the person's reviews that I watched from back then, I now did a collab with them now. I think 3 times now at this point, right? It's so crazy how that works, right? I remember Brock TV and Nancy Drew 37 from back in the day. Nancy Drew 37 was she was a middle-aged. I want to say she was probably in her 40s or 50s or so, maybe 30s, late 30s, and she was always on her lunch break. I think she was in like maybe at work or at home. I think it would be a mixture between two. And during her breaks, and she would just completely go off about Y&R, and it was good times back then. It was good times. But this is why I said this video is giving Guiding Light 2009, because what happened in Guiding Light 2009? That was the last year of Guiding Light. And this may be my last video for Soap Sanctuary. What I do, that live with Albert, I do plan to go ahead and post it on this channel. Just for viewers, subscribers see that. But I've had a great run. I have no qualms, but I just think it's the right time. I think I'm just in a different phase in life. I'm going into grad school. That's going to be one of my main focuses, and I'm really truly excited about it. Doing something that I'm actually passionate to do. Man, I had so many different paths in these years, guys. At one point, I thought I was going to be a lawyer. I was prepping for law school, taking LSATs. I thought I was gonna be a nurse. I even one point in time thought I was gonna be a minister. Yeah. And all those paths can still happen too. Just because you do one thing doesn't mean you won't in another stage in life do another thing. Life is not linear like that anymore. I think people are realizing that, right? And so we're able to expand our minds now more. Work on limiting beliefs and all those different things that we have. But there's so many different paths I went on. But I'm okay with that now. I realize that there's nothing wrong. Society's in a rush. That's something I realized, that society is in a rush, right? As people would like to put God on the schedule. I'm not on a schedule anymore for nobody. I'm not on a schedule. I'm taking myself off of society's schedule. When you do that, life becomes so much more easier, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you stop feeling like you're out of alignment and all these different things, because some things are just going to happen. That's just life. That's just life. Some things are going to happen to you. Things will take place. I remember growing up, we grew up in church, and I grew up in a very traditional Christian church, fire and brimstone stuff back there, right? And I remember how every time in church, I grew up in a Haitian church. That was a whole other ball game. And people, every time somebody was going through something, they would testify in church, like, oh, it's the devil, and the devil is doing this to them. And it's like, or maybe this is just an event in your life that just supposedly happens to be happening. It's not always the devil, right? And it was so weird because I, used to grow up in those kind of things, and you would hear people say stuff like, oh, God, we're not worthy. And I'm just like, in my mind as a kid, like, well, if you're not worthy of the Creator's love, then whose love will you be worthy of, But that's a subject for another day. We're not going to go there. We won't got to go there, right? But guys, I'm very grateful for this channel. I'm grateful to, like I said, Albert Bostic. He's been a big support of the channel, Bostic Enterprises, JLJ Media. There's Newman Media, and there's JLJ Media. Then there's Brock TV, Candice Mack. I mean, you have so many other YouTube, Sabrina Faith, GH. I wish I could have done a collab with her. I wish I could have done a collab with Sabrina Faith. That would have been cool. That would have been dope. Her and Dion's corner. That could still happen. Like I said, this is a pause. I could be pulling Kristen Alfonso and be back next month. So Kristen Fonzo used to stay doing that. Always saying she was quitting days and get right back the next year or two. You know what I'm saying? That's what Kristen Fonzo used to always do. But I mean, I met a lot of great people. I guess I virtually met them, I guess you can say, right? And I've seen a lot of great channels. Flobo, JLJ Media, Candace Mack, Kyrus Clark Industries. It's been a wild ride. I love it. And I've loved my videos. I've loved it. I love doing the skits. I love doing all these things, the reviews, talking soaps. It's been amazing, and I'm glad I had the courage to be on here too. I'm really grateful, and I'm grateful for my time, guys. I have no ill feelings. Like I said, I could come back. I do plan to do an interview on Albert's channel. I guess he wants to do the exclusive. We talk more in depth as to what led me to want to go on a pause at this moment. But I'm very grateful. Even the subscribers, we had subscribers like, what is it, Janice? Okay, some of y'all might be calling out your government name that's on YouTube. Don't be mad at me, okay? I don't know. Well, how about this? I'll put up my government to make y'all feel better. So you guys know me as DC. My first name is DeWand, right? So, but anyways, subscribers we had in Keisha Moore, Janice Fraser, Ethel, Kyrus Clark, God, I think it was Spiderquake. There's so many of them. Angelique. How does Angelique foster all those 19 cats? Like, how does that work? I feel like my cat is expensive alone, you know? I only have one cat. How does she do it, you know? And how do they all get along so well? So is it a stereotype that cats can't get along? Is that a stereotype? Because I won't start getting a second cat. But anyways, there was Angelique. There's so many more people. They've just been extremely great avid supporters of the channel because I recognize their names. There's Ali Lee, I remember him. He's my Guy in Light and Other Worlds guy, I remember him. There's so many more people. There's so many more. I might try to come up with some more names on Albert's Live and acknowledge you guys. But it's been amazing. I've been loving this. I've been loving this channel. I've been loving what it's been doing for me. I once made this channel before in the pandemic, and see, that's my cat outside. All of a sudden, he's be center of attention. You didn't come in? Come on in. Come on. Come on in. We appreciate it. You guys don't say hi to my cat. I don't think I've ever put my cat on camera, right? Isn't it weird having a black cat? You know, these things used to scare me back in the day. I used to be scared of black cats back in the day. I used to be scared of you guys back in the day. All right? How are you? Okay, all right, we'll let it go. Okay. We'll let it go. But anyways, guys, trying to think what else to say in this video. I think I've just pretty much covered it all in 22 minutes. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this channel. I'm grateful for subscribers, the support I've gotten. Like I said, when I first initially made this channel, it was just to have something to be therapeutic in my life, and I really loved and enjoyed, and I still do. I still enjoy the Soap Sanctuary. So I don't know, guys. I'm so grateful for this channel. This channel has just been, it's been an increasing blessing. This is like a whole other part of my life. Like, you know how like on Days of Our Lives right now, we got the Hope and Bo storyline, and there's the rest of Salem, and it legit feels like it's two different worlds. That's what it feels like with like Soap Sanctuary and the rest of my life. It's like two totally different worlds. I had considered even maybe doing another YouTube channel and maybe an addition to this where I would be doing tips for grad students and stuff like that, especially people who didn't know that it was even possible to go to grad school, all these different things. Because sometimes I do feel like in life when you go through some challenges, it's not, and you overcome them, that it's not just for you, it's for other people as well. If that makes sense, you know? That somewhere down the line, you might be able to give someone a good word or advice or some wisdom on how to handle certain situations, right? It's not so that you're the expert of them, but you kind of went through it, you kind of understand it a little bit. I didn't think grad school was a possibility for me for years. I was like, man, I've been out of school, I've been here, I've been there, I've been to 3 different schools, my GPA's not this, and all these stories going on in my head, instead of just like saying, hey, let's just try it and see. And if it doesn't work, that's okay too. At least you know you tried. You know what I mean? Like I said, guys, I'm excited about that. So I'll be taking this whole time during these next few months before I start in the fall to just really start studying some therapy techniques, modalities, all those different things, just to prepare myself. And I think that's it. I don't have to like force anything. That's all I have to say, guys. I don't think I have really anything else to force. You know what I mean? I like to force anything. I like to let things come naturally. You know, even when I do videos, I want the videos to come to me naturally. The ideas, the way the setups, they have to come, they have to be up here. If they're not up here, then I don't even try to force it. I don't. That One Life to Live video, I had been sitting on that. idea for over a year. The veterinary hospital, which is my general hospital parody skit video, I literally had that on my phone for over a year and a half, right? It was sitting there. The intro was sitting there. I just couldn't figure out how to do the rest on it. Once the rest came to me in my mind, boom. Which was right around the GH anniversary, right? Of the 6th anniversary, the rest came in my mind. It's just how that works, right? But, you know, like I said, it's been an amazing ride, guys. I've had a great time with this channel. The things I've learned about myself, you know, very 6 months ago, it was tough for me. It was tough. And you know what? There are gonna be some more tough moments to come. I don't wanna be naive and think they're not coming. They're coming, trust me. They're coming. They are coming. Life is not linear. Life goes up and down. It's not linear. You know, some people, we could just be all in the honeymoon phase or something, but life is not linear, guys. It's not. And that's okay. That's completely okay. I could be married to someone for 19 years. On the 20th year, I get a divorce, right? I always use that as an example. That's in my mind, right? Life is not linear. That's completely okay. You know what I mean? And sometimes you might not be able to take the lesson for certain things right away, and that's okay too. That's okay to acknowledge how you really feel about something, or say, hey, I don't like this, or this ain't working for me. You know, that is okay. That is perfectly okay, guys. But anyways, guys, this has been my Soap Sanctuary video. I will be doing a live perspective of Albert this Friday. Times could change. Times could change. It's giving Diane Sawyer. It's giving Hillary Curtis of The Young and the Restless when she did Restless Buzz. It's giving Danielle Frazier from Forever Today with this interview. It's giving a lot of things, guys. But guys, I'm so excited. Sean Demetrios, another subscriber. That was a name I couldn't get my name. Sean Demetrios. That was another avid subscriber to this channel. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for supporting my channel. And this might not necessarily be the last video, but for right now, it's giving Guiding Light 2009. Guiding Light September 18th, 2009, which was this final episode for my non-Guiding Light fans. But guys, thanks so much for supporting this channel, guys. I have a lot of fun. It's been completely amazing. It's been breathtaking. And I just loved every moment of it. I did. I loved every moment of this channel. There's been some times I did feel like work, though. I ain't gonna lie. There's been some times. There's been some times, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and lie. But I've had a great time with this channel, guys, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. Soap YouTube is very different from the rest of YouTube, and I'm glad I did not open myself to that other arsenal. That could happen one day, but I'm glad for right now I didn't. Soap YouTube was a little bit nicer, a little safer. There's some outliers in the mix, I'm not gonna lie, even with Soap YouTube, but for the most part, most of you guys, I think, are amazing and great subscribers and provide, I think, some of the best support that I've seen so far on this channel. So guys, so what could possibly be for the last time signing off, this has been Soap Sanctuary. And I will see you guys on possibly the next one, guys. But that's it. I'm out. I'm out, guys. For what may be the final time, this has been Soap Sanctuary.